Hello friends, so we have made the game up to a level that there is a player, it moves. Here is the player, it moves. The enemies are fixed at their positions, shooting projectiles, shooting bullets at the player in the direction of the player. So now we'll go forward implementing some kind of basic random movement in the enemies. But before that, I like to increase the screen size so that while playing the game it feels like a game, not like a blueprint. So how to do that? Okay, I guess I'll go inside the rooms. Yes, okay, here, and then I'll enable the viewport. Now I'll be able to see the player in the center of the screen since I've implemented a camera. Now this is good enough. Okay, now today we'll be implementing the movement of enemies. There'll be some basic movement as I told. So for that we'll first have to take care of the collisions. Now I will be creating another. Okay, I'll be going into collisions, and okay, this is the function that I added after closing the video, basically the last video. So this is the function. What this function does is like this is basically a replica of this function, but in this function you will find the collision of the instance at the current place, but in this function you will find the collision of the instance in some particular place. Okay, yeah, so it will find the collision of the instance with the tiles in a particular place. So we'll be using this function basically for checking the collision in our tiles. It is nothing special, it is just a collision function. I am just adding an offset to shift the collider to that position. So we will go into the next function. Now we'll check if a line like our enemy will move in a line. So we have to check if any point on the line is colliding with any tile. So in that case that movement is void, null and void, and we will revert to the previous target position. If like I'll show you. Just a minute, just throwing an error. Now if the enemy is here and I have found a target position to this direction up to here, then it will keep checking, the line will keep checking, and since there is a collision here, then it will send a message to the function basically in some way to the function that okay, no new target position has been found, so you find it again. Then there will be another random line that will be finding the position and another random target position, and if there is no collision till that position, then the enemy will walk to that position while also shooting projectiles at the player. So this is the basic function we want to achieve. Now for that we'll have to first write a function in which we have to find if an enemy can move along a line without colliding with a tile. So that is the function we are going to write now. I'll name the function something like okay, scr can instance reach. it will take an instance X, target X, and so it will basically tell if the instance can reach the target X and target Y position. This will be a little bit complicated problem if you don't understand it. Even after, I'll try my best to explain it, but even if you don't understand it, either you can post in the comment, I'll explain it further, or you can pause the video and I'll open the function, full function, after I write it, so you can then go through the function and try to understand that. Right now we'll start the function. So basically we have target X and target Y. What we'll do is, first of all, we need a distance. No, minimum is equal to width by 2. Since this is a local variable, the minimum distance will check collision at will be tile width by 2. Now we'll run a loop. I is smaller than no, basically we'll have to find a distance is equal to dot X. Actually if I go like this, sometimes GameMaker throws errors. I'll see if it does, but it is better right now. We'll go like this, like with instance. So we'll write this code as if we are writing it within the instance. So distance is equal to instance dot X. Okay, distance is equal to okay. Since I am running the code in the width block, I don't need instance dot anymore. Y, and then so whatever target dot X and target dot Y I am sending, it will find the distance to that position, and var, I'll just call it dist, is equal to, I'll copy paste this, I is smaller than dist I plus plus, no, not I plus plus, it will be I plus is equal to actually we can even make minimum as the tile width only, but to be on the safer side I am even reducing, means increasing the resolution by reducing the minimum size that we are checking collision at. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll basically yeah, I'll find a point. First of all, we'll create a two local variables, py, and here px is equal to no, not point direction, x plus length dir x. I is the distance from the player, and direction will be the same. So I will keep incrementing and dir will remain the same, and py is y for the same thing. So we'll find a point at minimum distance and we'll keep incrementing it by minimum distance in the same direction, in the direction that we want. So now we'll check if if px is equal to okay, what I'll do is right now I'll just let it be length dir I and dir. So this is the offset that I want to check the collision at. So I can directly copy this f and then add the offset here. In x axis I'll be adding the x offset, and in y axis I'll be adding the y offset. And if any collision is found, return true. Else okay, I'll put this outside. Even if instance is not found, it will return false. So now we'll check this code. How do we check this code? So normally what I'll do is I will go inside the player, and here this is just a debug, and what I'll do, I'll try to see instances ID and this is mouse X. So I'll just try to see if the instance can reach the mouse position, that is the player. This is, I'm writing within the player this thing. So if the instance can reach the mouse X and mouse Y without collision, without any collision, then I'll do something. So the easiest thing will be is equal to if it can reach, no sorry, see if, okay sorry, okay, here I have written can instance reach. Can instance reach should not return true in case of collision, then it will return false, and otherwise it will return true. Perfect. So now if I am defaulting the image blend to see white, or maybe I'll write it later, I'll make the image blend C. So the image will become reddish if I cannot reach, like the player cannot reach the mouse position without collision in a straight line, else image blend is equal to C white, otherwise the player will turn to the normal color. White is not totally white, it will be the normal color, the normal. Okay, So now it is showing that the player cannot reach this position without collision. So there is some problem in the code. See, here also it is showing. Okay, so this is inverse, like so. Just a minute. If it can reach, then it should be C white. So this is working perfectly fine. I'll show you. So if the instance can reach mouse X and mouse Y, then image blend will be white. That is, the player will be normal in color. Else, if it cannot reach, then the player color will be red. So this is working fine. If it cannot reach, the player color will be red. Yeah, see, here it can't reach, here it can reach, here it can't reach, it will collide here. So this player color is turning red wherever it can't reach. See, so it's working perfectly fine. Now I'll open the function for you once in full page, but I'll not wait you. Okay, so this is the function basically, scr can instance reach. Okay, now I'll close the function. If you want, you can just pause the video and there and note down the function. Now the next thing I'll do is, first of all, I'll remove this debug statement, means where I was turning that color based on whether he can reach the mouse position or not, because that is not required for the game. What is required for the game, now I'll be implementing that. There is basically the movement of the player, the enemy. So now, okay, so I will be creating another script called enemy AI. So this will be containing, this will contain all the scripts related, all the functions related to enemy AI. So the first function will be scr enemy get I'll write it completely, and I have to write a function here. So I think I have to give a semicolon. Okay, so this will basically get this will basically return a random target position. So it will need some things, like the first thing it will need is the current X and Y and and the third thing it will need is the max distance. So max distance is the maximum distance that can be that can be taken as an option. Like if I'm sending 30 pixels as max distance, my target is in the function is that it will return a target position that is at least 1 to 30 pixels in distance. So that will be the distance of the next target position. So basically I'll be first of all finding a dist, and that will I'll be getting a random dist that will be random range one and max dist. So I'll be first getting the distance, a random distance that I have to calculate. Then for okay, dir is equal to so it will also get a random direction 360, no, it should be 359 to make sure that means 0 degree, the right side should not have more weightage. It should be 359, and then tx, I'll say, is equal to tx is equal to x, that is the x that we have sent, that is the current x of the instance, x plus dist and dir. Okay, and the same thing we'll do for y. I'll copy paste the code and just make the changes. This copy pasting is actually a big problem. Sometimes it returns very if you do a small mistake in it, if you leave a y or if you leave a something while copy pasting, then it gives very bizarre results that are hard to track back. So now I have actually created a struct called vector2, and this vector2, what it does, it just stores two values. If you have used any other game engine or anything else for game, vector2 is very common. Vector2 and vector3, even in Unity or monogame I don't think it is there, but yeah, Unity, then Godot engine and a lot of other engines use this vector2. So vector2 is basically a mathematics word, vector, and it will just store two values, x and y. So I will be creating a vector2 here. Vector2, and this is the way you create this is kind of class where I can this is a template and I can create different objects of this template. For this you have to write a function and then write this constructor keyword here. So once you write the constructor keyword, this is basically a function and this is a constructor. So once you write the constructor keyword, you can basically construct an object which will have values. So this function can have values. Okay, and then there can be sub functions. We'll come to that later, but right now we will create a vector2. V is equal to vector2 and tx ty. No, first of all I will be, just a minute, we will come to this later. First of all we'll check collision. If okay, tx, okay, return new vector to tx ty. So it will be returning the tx and ty. Now we got a random point. Enemy ranged move random. So this is the random movement script AI of the enemy. Here I have to give the enemy ID. I'll not write enemy here, rather I'll just shorten it by writing any. Okay, that's better. So here what I'll do with enemy, first of all I'll check if target position is reached, find a new target position, else otherwise what I'll do, move to target position. Okay, so I'll check this here. If position meeting, sorry, here I have to put enemy because that is the thing that I have passed here in the parameter. There is the argument basically. So position meeting, if position meeting, now I will be creating a target position in the ranged enemy. For that I'll create a struct. It will be the, I'll just name it target to keep it short and sweet, and it will have x0, yeah, and y0, and then there I will put a function in it, set function x is equal to x and y is equal to y. Yeah, here I have to put a comma, another comma, I'll write another function, reset function, and then I have to send an instance. So x, no, I'll call that the previous function that we wrote, set dot x, and so basically it will set the x and y values. This one reset will set the x and y values to the instance current position. Okay, so and once before beginning anything, this is very important. This is very important to write, otherwise the whole AI will never kick off, because the enemy will keep moving in an unexpected direction at the beginning. So you have to write this, that initially you have to reset the target to the current position of the instance of the enemy. ID, yes, so this will do it, I guess. And now SCR any range move random ID. Okay, so now we'll see if it is working. I'll just go there. If position meeting, or maybe I'll check if this will be more accurate actually. If point in circle and dot x y, or x and y, I'll do y, target dot x, target dot y, and then radius. I'll just keep it as something random, like 3, a small value, but bigger than the speed of the instance. So I'll give 3. I think it will work, or else we will increase it. So yeah, if point in circle, so it has reached. Okay, so now what I'll do, SCR get random target position. So I got the vector to position, target position, random target position, x and y, and max test. So x is x, my x means enemy is x, then y, and max dist right now I'll keep it as 100. We can change it depending on how it behaves. We can fine tune it while the polishing phase, but right now we can write it as 100. So else, okay, I have to write an else outside of the comment. So else, okay, so now if can str can instance reach id and then vc.x vc.y, if instance can reach that position, then dot set I could have made the target only as a vector, but right now I have not. But you should basically, if you're creating a vector for a class, that is you are creating a template vector here like this. If you're creating a vector template, then you should basically reuse the same code in as many places as possible rather than creating independent structs for everything. So that is a good practice, and it will also save you a lot of hassles later in the game, while coding. So if instance can reach that position without any collision with tiles, then it will set the target position to vector's position. Otherwise, okay, otherwise is this else is for the if it has not reached the position, else move to target position. So we will move to target position, else var is equal to point direction x y x target dot x and dot y, then x plus is equal to speed. I'll give a speed here, but you should use the speed that you have used for that enemy. It will have a stat, it will have a speed, it will have a damage, so you should always use that. I am just writing it here, spd is equal to 1, and I'll move in that speed, spd and dir, and y plus is equal to length dir y, spd and dir. Now we'll see if this is working. This code is fine. I'll just increase the size of this function, so that if you don't understand anything, you can note it down and have a look. You can pause the video now. Okay, so now we'll go into enemy ranged and use this. Okay, we have already called this function. Now as expected, the enemy should move randomly. If this function works, the enemy will move randomly. Otherwise we have some problem, like we'll again have to look at the code. Okay, now this enemy is not moving. What we'll do is we will okay, all the enemies are colliding somewhere or the other. So I'll go back to that function and target x and target y. Okay, I'll do something for debug. I'll just draw a point or a circle, a small circle of radius 3 at the target position, and outline will be false. So this will be a filled circle that will show me where the current target of the enemy is. And better still, I'll draw line. This will be still better. X, Y, target X, target Y. Yeah, I guess this will be much better. So it will always draw a line, every enemy will draw a line to its current target position. So we'll see what the problem is, because we have to debug it. Okay, so this is the target position and the enemy is not able to move here. And it is not finding any other position, so we have to see what the problem is. Okay, we'll see a couple of more enemies. Max test, I have sent max test as 100. dir is equal to 359. Tx is equal to, this will return the new target position. Get random target position. Okay, I'll figure this out. Right now I'm pausing the video once. Yes, so I'm back. I actually found out the problem. I won't be able to explain it much, but something is happening that the code is working fine, but after a point some enemy, means each enemy is reaching to a point where its current collider is giving it a trouble moving, like its current collider, because if I am drawing a line from here to here, then at this position it should not collide, then only it will move, otherwise it will keep resetting the target to its current position. So am I clear, or should I explain? Okay, just a minute, I'll try to explain it, what the problem is. So there is a tile, this is a wall tile. Now this is, okay, this is my enemy. Sorry for my bad art, maybe I'll use the existing art, thanks. This is my enemy tile, enemy. So like now it will first move to, okay, this position, and then it is here, and then it will move to this position randomly. So now it will be here. So once it is here, it is colliding here with this. So if I am checking the collision now, because this function will set the new target only if it can reach, and this can reach returns true only if it is not colliding even at the current position, because at 0, if I is equal to 0, then this will basically return a 0 offset. 0 offset means current position. So at current position this enemy is colliding, so it can't move this way also, even if it is colliding a little bit. So the first thing that I'll do to solve it is, if you're not able to understand it, please ask me in the comment. I'll take one video only to explain this, because this is something very important for handling collisions and writing collision based AI. So what I'll do, the first thing that I'll do is like for the player, sorry, I'll go to the sprites. For the player, the collision mask is very small, but I don't think I have reduced the collision mask for the enemy. So I'll just, okay, it is the full rectangle, so the full rectangle is pretty high, so it has a good chance of getting stuck. And so I'll reduce it a little. Automatic, it will be manual. I'll reduce it till here, and I'll do the same thing for the walk animation. Right now I don't think we are using the walk animation. We'll use the walk animation very soon. Okay, so first thing, we reduced the collision masks, and then the second thing, the collider size we reduced, and the second thing that we'll do is we will start not at 0. I'll not start checking it at my current position, but rather a little bit inclined towards the position in which I'm moving. Like if I'm here and I want to move in this direction, then I'll not start checking here. I'll rather start by placing the instance here and then checking it. What I'm doing, because I have given an offset of minimum now, it will now start checking at the minimum distance of minimum from in the current direction, in the direction of the new target. So then it will return, means then it will start checking, and it will not check till the end, although it is not important for getting stuck, but still it will not end its check in the end. Like if I have to move till dist, and if I am checking till dist, then there is a small chance that I may end up sitting on a block, means my target position will be on a block which means colliding with a wall block. So what I'll do is this dist, I will extend it. Okay, I won't extend it, I will rather okay, yeah, that's fine. I guess if I'm increasing the initial distance by minimum, I think it will be fine. Now we will check it in a more vigorous way than normal. Like normally we'll go around and check, but right now I'll disable the viewports so that if our code is correct, all the enemies will be moving for the next 1 minute, and we'll see this. Yes, see, they are moving very happily, but right now they are in an empty zone, so I want them to move towards some colliders and then see if they are still moving. Yeah, see, now they're this enemy moved towards a collider, this enemy also, so there is no collision. So none of the enemies is getting stuck. We'll wait for another 30 seconds to see if there is any enemy that gets stuck, so that we have to further modify our code, or else we can call it a day and we can end this video. Okay, see, none of the enemies is colliding now, so this is a beautiful script. I will further modify the AI to make it a little bit more realistic, but that one we can do in some later video. For now I'll just make another change. Right now we have not implemented the walk animation, and we'll just implement that and end this video. So if okay, now this will return whether I am moving or not, and there has to be a way, right? If it is moving, so if point in circle, then it will return false, and if it is moving to the target position, it will return true. At the end it will return. So this is just a default return. I think even if I don't do it, GameMaker by default returns 0, so 0 is equivalent to false. So here I am returning true and here I am returning false. Now I'll show you why I did this. So var is moving. This is basically a value which is which will either be true or false. If is so we have to basically change the sprite index is equal to enemy shoot idle, no, enemy shoot walk, else if it is not moving, then it will be shoot idle. Okay, so this is done. Now what I'll do is I'll also change the image speed. So because the default image speed is 0, so now I'll make the image speed as, if it is moving, I'll make the image speed as 0.3, and if it is not moving, I'll make the image speed as 0.1 or 0. Oh, sorry. Yeah, image speed is equal to 0.2. Now we'll see if it is working fine. We'll go to an enemy, we'll search an enemy. Yeah, see, if it is moving, it is moving its legs, it's moving its feet. We don't have an opportunity of seeing it wait. Maybe we'll see that in at some later time, but that is already implemented. Next time if I'm not moving, I expect to see myself in the idle animation. Okay, so we will just remove the draw function which was drawing the lines for debug. Okay, so that's all guys. It has been a long video. Thanks for watching till the end, and if you like the video, please like it, and please click on like, and please subscribe my videos, my channel. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.